This guy starts his day not by brushing his teeth, but by rinsing his mouth with a bottle of vodka. With his messy hair and sloppy look, everyone mistakes him for a random unskilled laborer. And on top of that, he wanders around like a stray cat or dog. However, no one would guess that he used to be the top sniper in an international counterterrorism unit. Once he has a gun, you can't hide not even at the ends of the earth. Without a word, he takes down both organized crime gangs and female assassins. With his superior fighting skills, enemies are shot dead before they even see his shadow. When it comes to close combat, he is a walking nightmare, because he's proficient not only with guns but also with unarmed combat and knives. Yet, one day, a gang dared to kidnap his son and planned to harvest his organs. So, who is this guy? What will the rescue mission be like? And how brutal is this gang leader? So, we invite you to watch a breathtaking sniper action masterpiece with unexpected plot twists. So, sit back and buckle up for this high-octane sniper masterpiece called The Sniper King. In the Golden Triangle region of Southeast Asia, the Heaven and Earth Society is considered the most notorious mafia organization in the underworld, leading drug trafficking operations. However, their main source of income comes from the human organ trade. The leader of the Heaven and Earth Society is Damon, whose appearance alone reveals his ruthlessness. He also has ties to high-ranking officials, meaning there's no dirty deed he won't do. Anyone who dared stand in his way would have their head blown to pieces. However, every villain eventually meets their match. They had fallen into the sights of the Falcon Squad, a special organization that carries out top-level missions for the Chinese government. Julian was one of them, the most skilled sniper. So, the captain assigned him to assassinate Damon when he arrived. The opportunity was approaching. However, Julian unexpectedly discovered that a young boy named Tyler had seen him. Suddenly, this boy was kidnapped by thugs who wanted to harvest his organs. Although he was already waiting for Damon as his target, Julian immediately changed his mind. It seemed his only concern now was the boy Tyler from earlier. In the room, a medical staff member reported that they had run out of anesthetic. The curly-haired doctor prepared to carve out the boy's heart, ignoring his agonizing screams. Just as they were about to strike with scalpels, Damon arrived. Julian should have shot him to complete his mission. Instead, he diverted his attention towards the operating room to save the boy who was in critical condition, thus alerting the enemy. Damon immediately fled, so Julian only managed to shoot him in the shoulder. Seeing the assassins attacking, the henchman counterattacked. This guy fired a machine gun directly at the Falcon Squad. The special forces couldn't snipe from a distance and had to immediately get close for hand-to-hand combat. Julian blew up a section of the perimeter wall to create an opening. Then Julian and his teammates immediately stormed in, engaging in a bloody shootout with the enemy. He immediately shot down a man on the watchtower to rescue his teammates, then used the terrain and cover to snipe them one by one. Facing the heavy firepower of the machine gunner, Julian took cover behind a wall, then popped out and dropped him with a single shot. Finding it too difficult to fight off the Hawks, they immediately bombed the area to destroy the evidence. Damon immediately made his escape. Wanting to rescue Tyler, Julian rushed to the operating room. Unintentionally, he rescued a little girl named Jade and told her to find a safe place to hide. After walking a short distance, the guy tried to fire a bullet at him, but luckily, his teammates provided cover from a distance. Once inside the house, one of the men rushed out to shoot the burglar but failed. He also died. Julian, armed with a pistol, went further inside and saw two men following him. Julian suddenly jumped down and easily took down both. He was about to rescue the boy when a gunman threw a grenade inside. He quickly flipped the bed over to use as a shield, saving both of their lives. He managed to get Tyler out, but the captain cursed him, calling him useless. He saved one kid, but the Kingpin is still alive and will harm thousands more. Thinking that only Tyler was rescued by Julian, Tyler was unexpectedly revealed when Jade suddenly appeared, peeking out from a trash can. 10 years later, under Julian's tutelage, the young Tyler had become the best sniper in the Falcon Squad. As the two practiced eliminating targets without dropping any spent cartridges, a black snake suddenly appeared, lunging directly at Tyler. The snake was about to bite him when a bullet pierced his head. It turned out to be Jade, who had also become a beautiful and skilled sniper. That night, Tyler and Jade competed to see who could protect the target better. Tyler, being more agile and physically fit, quickly took the position. Jade, being more cunning, subdued the hostage to prevent Tyler from attacking, then counterattacked to complete her mission. This clever move by her caught everyone off guard. After a hard day of training, the whole team went out for drinks. Tyler was unhappy and told his mentor, Julian, that she had clearly cheated. Do you know what's most important for a sniper? It's to survive. You have to live to have a chance at anything else. You do whatever it takes to survive? That's right. After saying that, mentor Julian checked the technical specifications of the SV-98 sniper rifle that had been with him for 20 years, then gave it to Tyler, saying it was a gift. It's still in very good condition. A while later, after Jade had drunk too much, Tyler helped her home. However, as soon as he looked down at her chest, she grabbed him by the neck and threw him into the trash can. She was a deadly beauty, leaving Tyler completely helpless. The next day, 20 members of the Falcon Squad entered the competition to find the best. First, there was close combat in swampy terrain, a one-on-one battle to determine the 15 who would advance to the next round. found. Next, they had to carry a 300 kilograms log and run 5,000 laps. Finally, they had to carry a sniper rifle and a 200 kilograms backpack over a mountain overnight. And only 2 people remained, Tyler and Jade. After completing their mission, the perfect pair were awarded the title of best in this training course by the government. This pleased their mentor, Julian. One day, Tyler was assigned the task of commanding a force to dismantle a gang preparing to conduct a transaction at a building. Specifically, they had to capture Damon alive and bring him back for questioning. At the base, Captain Trent told his mentor, Julian, "In the past 10 years, we've ambushed them 8 times. But all failed. I suspect there's a mole in the organization." Outside, Tyler was in a position with a good vantage point. The special forces approached a target from the rooftop, then rappelled down to infiltrate the building. Unexpectedly, the Falcon Squad was ambushed by their snipers in the distance. Even Tyler's position was discovered. Captain Trent, "We've been exposed." Seeing this, mentor Julian ordered everyone to retreat immediately. However, Tyler believed in high risk, high reward, so he decided to complete the mission. Taking a hat, Tyler held it out to lure the sniper. Having located him, he immediately took him down. Seeing the danger, mentor Julian immediately ordered Jade to bring in reinforcements. However, just as everyone had armed themselves, Captain Trent stopped them. No one was allowed out until the mole was found. On the other side, Tyler rushed down, wielding his rifle and taking down each man with lightning speed. The gang members were shot dead before they even caught a whiff of him. Tyler's combat skills are so elite, they would make even John Wick jealous. Unfortunately, Damon, knowing about the ambush, wasn't present. It was a decoy. After inspecting the scene, Tyler found a computer. Connecting to the command center's operating system, the female agent unlocked it and discovered data on those who had previously collaborated with the Heaven and Earth Society. Surprisingly, among them was the file of mentor Julian. This left everyone speechless, as they never expected a veteran member of the Hawks to be a mole. Don't fall for Damon's trap. I don't know how to explain this when everyone's eyes are on me. Captain Trent, you don't believe me either. Whatever the reason, we'll investigate. Just put down your weapons first. Captain Trent believed that Julian's rescue of Tyler 10 years ago was a ploy to give the Kingpin a chance to escape. Therefore, he ordered his subordinates to subdue Julian. Unable to explain at this moment, mentor Julian dropped his weapon. Suddenly, Jade saw an agent about to draw his gun, so she protected her mentor. Regardless of right or wrong, anyone who dared to harm her benefactor who saved her life would be killed. She threw a smoke bomb, and both quickly escaped from the command room. When Jade tried to kill the agent, her mentor stopped her. So, she only knocked the agent unconscious. Having committed to this course of action, there was no other way but to save their lives. Julian was about to use an iron bar, but Jade handed him a pistol. Survival first, just like you taught me. The two worked in perfect unison, mowing down the other agents. On the other side, Tyler, hearing over the radio that something was wrong, immediately drove his pickup truck back to headquarters. Mentor Julian and Jade were still fighting to find an escape route. In close combat, both were very skilled. Suddenly, Captain Trent appeared, causing them to scatter in opposite directions. Seeing the two firing from above, Jade threw a grenade, creating a devastating explosion. At this moment, Tyler had also arrived but didn't understand what had happened. However, Captain Trent said that Julian was a mole for the Heaven and Earth Society. Recalling seeing his mentor's file on the computer earlier, Tyler was skeptical. Suddenly, a gun was pointed at his head. Instinctively, he counterattacked. The person was none other than his mentor, Julian. After maintaining distance, Julian said, "Don't you believe me? I believe you, but put the gun down." Jade regained consciousness and immediately opened fire at Tyler. When her ammunition ran out, she pulled out a knife and engaged in close combat. They both came from the same training camp and shared the same mentor. Therefore, their techniques were so familiar that they were evenly matched. However, Jade's only goal was to save Julian's life at this moment. "Go! Save yourself!" As the two continued to struggle, Tyler kicked Jade away. Seeing this, the mentor immediately rushed in to shield Jade from the bullets, taking a bullet through the heart. Tyler didn't mean to, but he had just committed the ultimate sin, killing his own savior. At that moment, Damon suddenly appeared from above, ordering his henchmen to shoot down the security cameras and then use a rocket launcher to destroy the base. Taking advantage of the hail of bullets and Tyler's remorse, Jade took mentor Julian away. After the curly-haired doctor from Heaven and Earth Society was treated, he said, "I've treated the wound, but you'll need a heart transplant every 3 years, so don't worry." Just as he finished speaking, Damon and his gang entered. "Julian, you've worked hard. Girl, why are you pointing a gun at a family member? He's worked with me for 20 years. Hearing this, Jade was stunned. So Julian was the mole. The choice is yours to make. Jade could have easily shot Julian dead. However, remembering that he was the one who saved her life, she owed him her life. Her loyalty belonged only to him. After saying that, she attacked the Damon but was seriously wounded by his henchman. Julian shouted, "Drake!" Immediately, the assassin acted to kill Damon. It turned out he was a mole Julian had planted in the Heaven and Earth Society to protect him in case Damon tried anything against him. After killing Damon, Julian took over the leadership of the Heaven and Earth Society. 8 years later, Tyler is now retired from the military and works as a handyman in a small neighborhood. His best friend is alcohol, because he just wants to drown his sorrows and drunkenness to forget the past. He had no idea his mentor was a mole. Therefore, Tyler was constantly haunted by the thought that he had accidentally killed his mentor, causing him immense suffering. One evening, while Tyler was wandering down an alley, a young boy named Ricky was being chased by a group of people for theft. Tyler tried to protect him but didn't want to reveal his identity, so he endured the beating. Afterward, these men took all of Tyler's money before leaving. "Thanks, boss. I'll pay you back when I have the money." To help this kid quit stealing, Tyler dragged Ricky to a karaoke bar to meet Lisa, his aunt and foster mother. Thinking he was there to collect the debt, Lisa tried to pay with her body. Seizing the moment, Tyler immediately kicked Ricky out to guard the door. It was thought that the two would have sex inside the karaoke room. The truth was, Tyler was handsome, but he had standards. He tied Lisa's hands to a post and stole her purse. However, finding no money, he said, "I'll take the boy to my workplace to pay off his debts. I can't let him continue stealing." After saying that, Tyler went outside and took Ricky home. Since Lisa couldn't take care of Ricky herself, she had no choice but to agree to this plan. In the following days, Tyler made Ricky work with him. Not very intelligent, but enthusiastic, the boy always had to play the role of a troublemaker. He went inside to fix a fan but almost got Tyler's head chopped off. He was a master of disaster, but at least he was earning his keep. Tyler wanted Ricky to follow the right path and not become a thief and robber like before. One day, Ricky's foster mother, Lisa, came to Tyler's house to visit him. Seeing her son diligently studying, she was very pleased. "Don't worry, Auntie. I'll be back in 2 days after I pay off my debts." Noticing something was wrong with his foster mother's face, Ricky snatched off her glasses and was horrified to discover Lisa had a black eye. "Those guys at the karaoke bar beat you up again, didn't they? Don't go to work anymore. Let me support you." After saying that, Ricky asked Tyler to give him back his wages from the past few days so he could give it to his aunt to help with living expenses. "Don't serve those men anymore." That evening, Lisa brought food to Tyler's house. They had a few drinks and talked. She thanked him for teaching Ricky a lesson. Then, Lisa explained that the boy was her sister's son. However, his mother unfortunately passed away, so she took him in. To raise him until now, she had to do anything to earn money. That's why she joined the karaoke bar. Hearing this, Tyler understood that Lisa was also a good person, only driven by the harsh realities of life to join a bad organization. Downstairs, Ricky dropped a pencil and accidentally discovered something under the rug. Using a few petty thieving tricks, he picked the lock and opened the box, only to be horrified to find it full of guns. Seeing this, Tyler became angry, snatched a scope, put it back in its place, and then told Ricky to go to sleep and not touch these things. The next day, the uncle and nephew went out to collect scrap metal again, and Ricky accidentally saw an advertisement that said donating blood would earn you a very high amount of money. A thought suddenly flashed through the boy's mind. On the other side, after Julian took over the Heaven and Earth Society, he expanded his territory into other areas. Marcus, the chairman of a real estate group, was one of his targets. He wrote a check for $20 million to force this man to hand over 3 casinos. Marcus angrily said, "Does Julian take me for a chump? Don't even talk to me if you don't have $100 million. However, he didn't know that Julian's two right-hand men, Jade and Drake, were already there to settle the score. Jade jumped down and swam towards Marcus, who thought Julian was giving him a beautiful woman. He thought Jade was just diving down to play, but instead she took a knife and slit Marcus's throat. Drake also threw a knife and then engaged in close combat with Marcus's 2 remaining henchmen. It was incredibly fast and dangerous. In just a few minutes, both the boss and his bodyguard were dead. Having completed the mission, Jade reported good news. "Sir, I found a young man with a blood type that matches yours." It turned out Julian needed a heart transplant, so he opened high-priced blood donation centers everywhere to find people with a compatible blood type, then kidnapped them and forced them to donate organs. On the other side, Tyler woke up from his deep sleep to find Ricky nowhere to be seen. Suddenly, the boy had returned home with a lot of food, and he'd even bought a few bottles of liquor for his uncle to drown his sorrows. Just as Tyler was wondering where the money came from, Ricky pulled out another 30,000 yuan to pay off his debts. "Are you back to pickpocketing? Do you think stealing is the only way to make a living? You're not my father. Why are you questioning me?" After saying that, Ricky felt extremely distressed at being suspected of being a bad person. Tyler, thinking the kid was up to his old tricks again, immediately chased him away. "Now I can't teach you anymore. Get out of my sight." Seeing the fan he had painstakingly repaired knocked over, Ricky was heartbroken and immediately left. Guilt hit Tyler harder than a bullet. However, he had misunderstood, because Ricky had donated blood earlier to earn money. Tyler just noticed that his hands were covered in blood. Thinking back, he knew the blood was Ricky's. Something was definitely wrong, so he rushed outside to chase after him. Ricky was wandering around the amusement park, thinking he needed to go back and explain himself to clear his name, when Uncle Tyler arrived. Just then, a car sped up and kidnapped the boy. Tyler lunged forward, but they fired a shot at him, causing him to somersault to avoid the bullet. His legs couldn't keep up with the car, and with the gunfire, he could only watch helplessly as the car sped away. Just then, Tyler spotted an advertisement for blood donation to get rich. Remembering that Ricky had noticed this place before, he immediately went inside to make sure the boy had ever donated blood here. Tyler went to the records room to check and sure enough, found Ricky's file. Suddenly, a doctor walked in, and upon seeing someone rummaging through things, he became suspicious. Tyler lunged forward, grabbed the wretched doctor by the neck, pinned him to the table, and locked his shoulders. "Tell me who you work for." After the blood test, where was the victim taken? The man was in so much pain that he confessed everything and gave Tyler the address of a slaughterhouse. Having obtained the information, he immediately left. Arriving at the location, Tyler saw a truck preparing to transport goods, and he immediately took down one of the men. Opening it, he discovered a heart inside and stole the men's clothes as well. He disguised himself as an employee and casually walked straight inside. Under the guise of a slaughterhouse, it was a place for harvesting human organs. Many victims had died there. While Tyler was still in a state of shock and fear, someone asked him to come to an anesthesia room to help. While transporting a victim into the elevator to go upstairs for surgery, the man became suspicious, so Tyler broke his arm, killing him instantly. He then swapped bodies with the victim on the operating table to harvest the organs. At the blood donation center, the doctor in the records room woke up and immediately notified the operating room. So, as Tyler was taking the patient inside, someone attacked him from behind. He knocked the man to the floor but was affected by the anesthetic the man had injected. It was then that Tyler realized this bastard was the curly-haired doctor. That's the guy who previously tried to rip Tyler's stomach open and harvest his organs without anesthesia. "So you guys are from the Heaven and Earth Society." This guy tried to run away, but it was too late. He used another anesthetic needle to stab Tyler's arm, but Tyler was more resilient and didn't react. Tyler broke the guy's arm like a dry twig, then forced him to reveal Ricky's whereabouts. "I won't tell you. You won't talk. Let's see how much pain you can take." Tyler broke each of the curly-haired doctor's fingers one by one. He screamed in pain and then began to confess. Your mentor took it away to get his heart. Just then, Tyler was ambushed by snipers. It turned out Jade had been aiming at him from a building in the distance. Then, a call from Jade appeared on his phone. Tyler answered, and she said, "At this distance, 3 shots would be enough to take you down. I'm not that easy to kill." Tyler used a medical mirror to reflect the light and blind her, causing her to miss her shot, and he immediately fled. He used the terrain and surrounding objects for cover, causing Jade to fire numerous shots, but none hit him. At that moment, Jade ran out of ammunition. Tyler smugly said, "Need to reload, sweetheart? You underestimated me." It turned out Jade had prepared a Barrett 50 cal nearby, so she immediately attacked. Not to be outdone, Tyler wrapped a fire extinguisher in a cloth and tossed it into the air. Jade instinctively fired her gun, sending dust flying and obscuring her vision. Taking advantage of the opportunity, Tyler immediately tried to escape. However, many assassins were waiting for him, including Drake and a special forces team armed to the bone. 2 guys who blocked Tyler in the elevator were immediately beaten to a pulp. Then he pretended to be the victim, waiting for them to get close and unsuspecting. Then he snatched their guns and shot them in the groin. With a gun in hand, dealing with these bastards was a piece of cake. In a flash, he shot them all senseless. 2 other bastards rushed him, trying to tear him apart but failed. The freezer room reeked of acrid smoke from bombs. After dealing with one, Tyler ran out of ammo, so he went back, snatched the other guy's gun, and shot him until he was riddled with bullets. Someone threw a grenade inside, but luckily, he managed to jump out into the hallway in time. The anesthetic took effect, making him dizzy, but he had to continue fighting. He had to deal with the remaining guys so they wouldn't be so lonely. Tyler's aim was godlike, his moves lethal. These guys were amateurs. They were completely out of their league. At this point, the anesthetic took effect, making Tyler feel like he was about to collapse. To make matters worse, that bastard Drake shot him in the left shoulder. Pulling out a second knife, he started charging in with rapid thrusts. Tyler, unarmed but fearless, landed a few heavy blows and added elbows. Having grabbed Drake's right hand, Tyler endured the blows but managed to twist Drake's thumb. He pushed him out and immediately kicked him, then pinned him against the wire and impaled him repeatedly. Tyler tried to break free but took another blow. Kicking Tyler into the next room, Drake threw 4 knives, then another, but hit the meat slicer switch. Suddenly, Tyler lunged forward and attacked him, but then Drake grabbed a machete and attacked even more ferociously. Afterward, Drake grabbed Tyler's leg and pinned him to the meat slicer. However, "You've underestimated me too much, young man." He was about to send him straight to hell, but it didn't work out. Drake lunged to attack, but Tyler threw the door at his head. However, Drake was incredibly tenacious, so Tyler quickly ran outside. Suddenly lunging forward, Tyler tried to trip him but failed and was counterattacked. It seemed they were evenly matched. While one threw a grappling move, the other grabbed Tyler's leg and broke a healthy bone. Trying to break free, Tyler used his legs to clamp down on Drake's neck. Drake, being too strong, lifted Tyler up and threw him out the window. Tyler tried to grab Drake by the neck to prevent himself from falling, but he ended up falling along with the chain. Tyler quickly fled into an alley, where the anesthetic finally took effect. Falling into a daze, Tyler's will remained, but his legs couldn't lift him, so he fainted on the spot, constantly tormented by nightmares of the past and present. When he woke up, he found himself at the house of the woman who had saved him the night before, none other than Lisa. The beautiful woman asked, "Did you get into a fight? Where did Ricky go?" She pressed him for an explanation, and he finally admitted that the boy had been kidnapped by organ traffickers. She immediately burst into tears and blamed Tyler. Both were incredibly distressed and desperate. Seeing Drake's necklace in his hand, Tyler realized he was once a top agent of the Falcon organization, because he himself had received that badge before. Lisa was preparing to go rescue Ricky when Tyler stopped her and said, "Trust me." Shortly after, he had his hair trimmed. Tyler had completely transformed. Taking the sniper rifle that his mentor had given him years ago, Tyler armed himself and immediately set off to rescue Ricky. RELPTCLNNGECUCUNHCKK. In the city, the beautiful Lisa, having obtained Drake's necklace, immediately pawned it for money. Immediately afterwards, the boss informed the Heaven and Earth Society. Sure enough, while Lisa was lighting a cigarette, Drake appeared. "Where did you get this?" "Boss, I found it in a public restroom." "Confess, you bitch." Drake was about to stab someone with his knife when he was unexpectedly hit in the bicep by a sniper's bullet. It turned out Tyler had used bait to lure the snake out of its hole so he could easily deal with it. Drake, his mind racing, fired a few warning shots into the air, causing the civilians to scatter in panic as he fled. However, he didn't know he was up against the most notorious sharpshooter of the Falcon Squad. There was no escape. Cornered in an alley, Tyler chased after him and shot him, leaving him unable to resist. Drake tried to use a knife but lacked the strength. Tyler stomped on his hand, his face contorted in pain. Then Tyler kicked him in the mouth and forced him to reveal Ricky's whereabouts. Drake returned to their headquarters. His subordinates asked, "Boss, who did this to you?" Then a gun appeared, sending 2 men to their deaths, followed by 2 more. Lisa had also followed, searching for her nephew Ricky. However, there are too many children here. Tyler then forced one of their employees to copy all of the Heaven and Earth Society's business data and transfer all of Jade's money to another account. Suddenly Drake burst into laughter like a madman. Tyler shot him to teach him a lesson about keeping quiet. On the other side, Jade discovered this and ordered her staff to disable the account, but they were unsuccessful. Knowing that Tyler was behind this, she called him and said, "What do you want? When did you betray the organization?" "Since someone shot the man who saved my life. Perhaps we should make a deal. I have a huge sum of money in evidence of your illegal activities. I will use it to exchange for Ricky. 12 midnight tonight at the abandoned building in the east of the city. I will personally kill a traitor like you." After finalizing the deal, the two immediately proceeded. Before leaving, Tyler didn't forget to thank him with a bullet. As night fell, the transaction took place. Jade had been waiting for Tyler for some time. However, it was Lisa who appeared, not Tyler. Putting the documents on the table, Lisa pulled out a USB drive and held it up to the sky. But Jade immediately shot it to destroy it. "Tyler, if you don't come out here, I will kill this rotten woman." Lisa knew they wouldn't dare kill Ricky because they wanted to take his organs to replace Julian's, so she immediately pointed her gun at Ricky and threatened him. "If you make any move, I'll kill this kid." Jade then fired another shot, knocking Lisa's gun out of his hand. Ricky cleverly picked up a gun and threatened, "You stinking woman. If you touch my mother, I'll shoot myself." "What did you just call your aunt? You crazy bitch." Thanks to this, the mother and child escaped Jade's pursuit. However, a group of assassins surrounded them and pointed their guns at them. Jade ordered them to kill the woman but spare the child's life. Immediately, they followed orders and tried to kill Lisa but were unexpectedly shot at. This allowed Jade to pinpoint Tyler's location, but he dodged the bullets and prepared smoke screens to create a diversion. Tyler chose a suitable position and counterattacked to rescue Ricky and Lisa. Anyone who chased them would die. Jade was helpless, because Tyler constantly changed positions in the smoke, making it impossible for the enemy to see anything. Lisa took Ricky to the rooftop, but the assassins still pursued them. However, they had no idea that this was the biggest mistake of their lives, one they could never rectify. Just as they finished off the others, Jade took Lisa to the rooftop to use her as a shield. This made it difficult for Tyler to kill her. He remembered this was the same method she had used during their training years ago. But Tyler discovered Lisa was sitting on a swivel chair with a support mechanism underneath. When Jade pulled the trigger, Tyler decided to take the safe option and shot at the chair's base. Tyler took the bullet, while the explosion launched Jade backward by the chair, falling to the ground below and dying instantly. It seemed Tyler had died along with Jade. However, he survived because he knew Jade would shoot him in the heart to avenge her mentor, so he had taped a steel plate over his heart. Lisa immediately took Ricky away, but as they were about to get into the car, Julian appeared. He immediately sent her straight to the afterlife and then took Ricky away. By the time Tyler arrived, it was too late. Just as he saw Lisa lying in a pool of blood, mentor Julian walked past with a defiant look in his eyes. He took the boy to his base on an island. The surgeon said everything was ready and the heart transplant was imminent. However, he said that the person I once saved now wanted me dead. It wouldn't be too late to perform the surgery after I've dealt with him. No sooner had he finished speaking than a bullet flew, followed by a second one in the same spot. Knowing that the person who needed to come would eventually arrive, Julian ordered his 3 best snipers to go up the mountain to hunt down the traitor. Soon after, the trio of assassins arrived and split up, employing a triangular formation to surround the enemy. Julian, the old fox, would oversee observation and command. Since the target's location was still unknown, Julian ordered one of them to act as a pawn to lure Tyler into firing. Immediately after, the first assassin moved, and Tyler attacked. From the east, bearing 25 degrees north. However, the second assassin nearby confirmed that this wasn't the target, and the third sniper rushed out as a pawn but was shot in the head. This time Julian located Tyler 30 degrees northwest. Attack quickly, but Tyler was no pushover. He dodged bullets and, with a series of swift movements, vanished inexplicably. The number one man crawled forward for better observation, while Tyler manipulated a branch to distract him and allow him to fire. Then, he suddenly appeared from behind, intending to slit his throat with the knife, but the man fought back. Immediately afterward, Tyler pulled out a small pencil and stabbed it into his neck. Having taken down another man, Tyler used him as a scapegoat. This second man, thinking he was easy prey, opened fire, but Tyler suddenly rushed out and sent him to his demise. Julian never imagined that his three assassins, despite having someone watching and providing cover, would all be wiped out. Suddenly, all the lights went out, and Julian was escorted into a glass operating room. Tyler arrived and threw tear gas, creating a thick cloud of smoke. The men panicked and started shooting wildly, killing each other without needing to lift a finger. Julian could only watch helplessly at his useless subordinates. He determined his direction, and Tyler had already approached the glass room. Using the man's hand to open the door, Tyler calmly walked in, ignoring Julian's gun pointed at his head, and went straight to Ricky. Seeing the boy alive, he put away his gun, then stripped off his gear and returned the sniper rifle to his mentor. "Why didn't you kill me?" "I came here to take the boy away." Julian, disbelieving, shot in the shoulder and leg. Yet Tyler didn't resist and was only determined to take Ricky away. "Who is this kid? Why are you so hell-bent on saving him? And what about us? Why did you save me back then?" Julian didn't know how to answer this question. Tyler nodded at him and then took Ricky away. At this point, Julian's heart finally gave out, causing him to collapse and die. Tyler was also helpless in this situation. Later, he adopted Ricky and sent him to school to raise him into a responsible adult. The movie reminds us that no one has the right to take a life, no matter the circumstances. Evildoers will always face punishment, whether from the law or the court of their own conscience. What goes around comes around. Evil deeds will be punished. So, whether rich or poor, please be a law-abiding citizen. Like the video and subscribe to the channel to support Predator Recap. Thank you, everyone.